Hey everybody, it's Ed. Alright, today's video we are going to talk about this. What is this? Elvis Gospel. Known only to him, 1957-1971. This was released by RCA BMG back in 1989. Alright, there's really not much to look at. No gatefold, nothing to really open or reveal. And again, as far as everything on the back here, for me to read this to you would probably take me about 20 minutes and I would stammer through it. However, there is one part of this that I am going to read for you. It's an interesting little tidbit of information from Gordon Stoker from the Jordanaires regarding recording sessions and how Elvis would need to warm up. But I think most of us know this story. Well, if you're a true Elvis fan anyway. Well, I shouldn't even say true Elvis fan, but I think you know what I mean. All right, so what can I say about this album? What can we say? It's Elvis Gospel. Elvis Gospel is amazing. He had a real knack for, well, in anything that he sang. He put pure emotion, his heart, soul, and everything into it, especially with the Gospels. So this is a compilation release of, I think it's 12 songs, or maybe even 14. 14 songs. There's 7 on each side. And it goes from the years 1957 through 1971. All right, so what songs do we have on here? Well, we have Peace in the Valley starting on side 1. And this version of Peace in the Valley happens to be the version that Elvis performed live on the Ed Sullivan Show. So that was really cool to have on vinyl at the time, because I don't think there was any other versions of that out there. That might have been on the Golden Anniversary box set. My memory eludes me right now, so we shall I'll have to go back and look at that. Take my hand, precious Lord. I'm gonna walk them golden stairs. I believe in the man in the sky. Joshua fit the battle. Swing down, sweet chariot. Stand by me. And we have side 2 with Run On. Where could I go but to the Lord? So high, we call on him. Who am I? Lead me, guide me, and known only to him. So this particular release was produced by, looks like Steve Scholes. Well, all right, it says certain songs. If it has 1 asterisk, it was produced by Steve Scholes. 2 asterisks, produced by Felton Jarvis. And then 3 asterisks were produced by Chips Moorman. Says this was also available on cassette and compact disc. I only have the LP for this. I do not have the CD or the cassette. But it is still in the shrink. It's in pretty nice shape. There is a little bit of a ding on the corner up here. I don't even know if you can see it. But otherwise, fantastic shape. Good stuff. What is the sound quality of this? Well, I think it's pretty damn good. No complaints. The Ed Sullivan performance is probably the least pleasant as far as the sonics go, but that's, when I say least pleasant, I'm just saying in comparison to the rest of the album, but it's not bad at all. So I don't know. This is not something I find out when I find often, I should say, or see often. I probably picked this up, I would say, within the past 10 years. And that was the only time I've ever seen it out there, and haven't seen it since. It just came in a regular white sleeve. I traded the sleeve out for a better one. All right, but let's look at the label. Because I know some of you like to see the labels and whatnot. This is side A. Now, there was a little bit of a defect in this label, where you could see it peeled up, but that's the way I received it. I like this label. I think this is really cool with the red and black. Has that UK look to it. No nipper, just the RCA logo. Very nice. But this is a US pressing. And vinyl's in really good shape. And like I said, the sound quality on this is not disappointing at all. I probably would have gone with a different song selection, but again, that's me. But again, all the gospel material that Elvis recorded was phenomenal. All right, but quickly, I wanted to read this one part here because I thought it was really interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from here to, whoops, where am I going? From here to the bottom. All right, and again, this is based on the accounts of Gordon Stoker from the Jordanaires. And what he wrote was, Elvis came in to do movie songs about 10 a.m. We were all ready to go. He went immediately to the piano and started playing and singing and cutting up. All the guys who put up the money for the movie were there. And here's Elvis sitting over at the piano singing spirituals. And he wanted us to sing with them. We sang till about 12:30, and they said break for lunch. Everybody be back at 1:30. When everyone broke, some of the officials called me over and said, now when Elvis comes back in here, we must get on with the soundtrack. If he starts singing spirituals, you sit in your chairs and you don't go near him, because we don't want to start back on the same thing we've been doing all morning, spending all this money. Well, Elvis came back, and I think he might have gotten a hint of it, because he went to the piano and he started singing and playing again. Nobody paid any attention to him. He caught my eye and he said, hey, come here. What's wrong with you guys? I said, well, they told us that when we come back not to sing anything other than what the soundtrack called for. It made him mad. Fire flew in his eyes. He said, look, wait a minute, fellas. Let me tell you all something. If I want to bring all those guys from Nashville out here and sit down and sing songs with me all week long, that's exactly what I'll do. Well, oh, I'm sorry. We'll see you all in the morning at 9 o'clock. He got up, stomped right off, and the sound set and went home. But the next morning at 9 o'clock, he came right in and was ready to record. He told them, I was getting myself in the mood. This is one of the things you got to understand. I can't come in here if I haven't been singing and start singing these songs on these soundtracks unless I'm in the mood. Gordon Stoker, Jordanaires. I thought that was a very interesting story, so I thought I would share that with you. If you have this album, wondering what you think of it. Overall, I got to be honest with you, this is not something that I usually throw on my turntable. If I'm interested in the Elvis gospel, I usually go for the albums that the actual the albums themselves of He Touched Me, of His Hand in Mine, or How Great Thou Art. But it's a neat little compilation, something to look out for. I think if you do find it, I don't think it's terribly expensive, and I think it could be worth seeking out, depending on how much of an Elvis gospel fan you are. So that's my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. But I appreciate you watching, and again, if you do have this, let me know what you think in the comments. I really think that's all I have to say about it. So we'll leave it at that, and as always, I appreciate you watching. Good to yourselves, good to each other. Take care, everybody.